Hello, I am Sunayan Sharma, a former member of the Indian Forest Service, a naturalist, nature writer, and photographer. Well, in my last video, I tried to share with you as to how, through a unique system, every single inch of the forest land all over India has been made identifiable. Well, in the continuity of the same series, today I would like to share with you the importance of the water holes and the basics about its management. Well, you see, as our country's maximum area lies under tropical and subtropical zones and remain hot. During the summer period, the thirsty wild animals roam hither and thither, leaving the park and going to the agriculture fields of neighboring villages that uh, compels them to raid the agriculture crops also. Well, this gives rise to a conflict between villagers and the park management. Both become victim, the wild animals as well as the villagers. It is very difficult situation to be dealt with by the management authorities. This can be solved only through one way, and that is by raising structures, developing more and more water holes inside the wildlife reserve areas. Water hole can be anything, maybe a river, maybe stream, maybe a masonry structure, maybe a pond, or even the water pulled out of the wells and taken into some small pit-like structures. That is, they are also water holes. Even aquifers, they are also water holes. So water hole is a very uh, comprehensive word. And in the wildlife terminology, the water points are called water holes. So here, as you are seeing the sambar, they are preparing themselves to leave the safety of the reserve and quench the thirst in the neighboring villages. This puts them into high risk. So, as I was mentioning, the water holes, if created intelligently in the reserve area, the wild instinct of the animals will also not be disturbed, for which we ecologists are always much concerned. And of course, we'll be able to retain the animals throughout the summer, even inside the safe haven for them, the reserve areas. Well, like you are seeing in this picture, uh, by green, I have denoted the boundaries of the particular forest area, and say a road is passing through this area, and these are the water holes which have been created by the management. Well, uh, these, 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 these water holes should not be placed, or they should not be made closer than 5 kilometer distance from each other, so that the animals during even the pinch period will not have to walk for more than 2.5 kilometers. If they move, if they are here, it is very close, closer than 2.5. If they are here, it is closer than 2.5. And if it is here in the center of these two, only then it will be 2.5 kilometers. So my experience is the 5 kilometer distance can be a good distance. And well, you see, it is not only distance which is very important, the shape and size of the water hole, the material which is used, that is also very important. As a forester, as a wildlifer, I always feel like the masonry water hole should not be used in these areas because neither that is aesthetical nor it blends with the environment, and it is of course not eco-friendly at all, especially in the summer areas. As you are seeing here, the salmon are standing in the water. They wallow in the water for quite some time. During the pinch winter also, they wallow, and they defecate, they urinate. If these are pakka, cemented, then obviously the fecal material, the acids out of this fecal material will not be absorbed. But if it is an earthen one, yes, they will be absorbed, and the water can still remain drinkable for these animals. So, and well, you see, another way of making the water holes is by pulling out the water from the wells, maybe open well or the tube wells, and the water can be taken out with the help of the motors, diesel generator sets. And as you might have seen during your visits to such wildlife reserves, but I say that essentially the managers should see to it that these machines, the motors, the generators should be silent type, should not be allowed to disturb the area through noise pollution. And furthermore, the pipes which are used to carry the water through these wells, they should also not be left open for the visibility of the tourists or others. They are even crushed by the hoofs of the animals. So for their longevity also, but one should be careful about this thing. While as a tourist or ecologist, you are passing through the areas, you are also requested to look at these points minutely, and at the gate of the Sanctuary National Park, always a register is maintained where you can register your opinion, your suggestions, your observations. And yes, you must register your suggestions, especially pertaining to the water management, and especially in the light of the facts I'm sharing with you today. Well, this is a masonry structure, an anecut, which has been constructed across a hilly stream, nicely built. Of course, this is not an earthen one, but we have to understand that as per the availability of the water source and the topography of the area, you have to decide the design and the uh, material for construction of the water holes. In the hilly areas, the better way is, or this is the only way, and the importance of this anecut is again not for only holding the surface water for drinking the uh, drinking facility to the wild animals, but also it improves the moisture regime of the entire area. Well, you are seeing here the forest guard is trying to locate the tiger through this antenna. The tiger had come few minutes back. It had left. after drinking the water. The RO is there. He came to the area along with his guard, and they are searching the animal through the GPS system. Well, I request you, whenever you go into the reserves, always try to look at the water holes. They give you the best opportunity of sighting the animals, and of course, they enhance in your knowledge about the water management for the wild animals, which is very important. And also, I request you that whenever you visit such parks, while leaving the park at the gate, you can call for a visitor views register, and you can always register your observations on that. That may not be liked by the park management people, but it will certainly help in improving the system, keeping an eye over the managemental laxities. In my next video, I shall like to share with you the uh, the basic problem of the basic factors responsible for the man-animal conflict, which is chiefly responsible for the tussle between the villagers and the reserve management, resulting into damage to the wildlife as well as the villagers. Thank you.